Dairy to me means like community and the support that the community creates. Well, you need the grass and then you need the cows, but then you need someone to take care of the cows and the grass. And we're getting to the point in society where we don't have as many options because we need to take care of the earth and the community. So.
My name is Jessica Brobst, and I guess my official title is the dairy herds person, but I often do a lot of work with all of the livestock in general. So Hawthorne Valley Farm is kind of situated within Hawthorne Valley Association, which was founded in the 1970s, actually as a place for Waldorf students in the city, specifically the Rudolf Steiner School, to have a place where city kids could go to be on the land. The Hawthorne Valley Farm is a biodynamic farm, which once again kind of goes back to our founding as a anthroposophical inspired endeavor. Or some aspects of biodynamic agriculture is this idea of like a whole farm organism. When you just have tomatoes or you just have pigs, there's all these inputs coming in that to keep this thing alive. Like it can't quite support itself. Whereas say you have a good balance of animals and plants, you could conceivably plant your seeds and grow your grains and your vegetables, save your seeds, fertilize your soil with your cows, feed yourself. And so it becomes this kind of closed loop.
My name's Jeremy Shapiro. I'm the Creamery manager here at Hawthorne Valley Farm. My job is to oversee the day-to-day operations of the creamery in terms of production, food safety, and handling the milk, and just making sure it's getting into the products and what we want. We start with the cows, but really we start with the grass, and essentially we're grass farmers, and we want to make sure that the cows have the best diet possible.
Milk production, or the emergence of milk from an animal, is kind of an amazing thing, because with a cow or a ruminant, they're basically turning grass into milk. And so when you're a grass-based dairy, your animals are spending most of their time either on pasture, so they spend a lot of time eating grass and then ruminating on that grass, regurgitating it, chewing it over and over again to help break it down, processing that the 4 stomachs of a cow can do versus like the 1-chambered stomach of a human. That gives them the nutrition they need to actually make milk. Most dairy cows have one calf a year, and that will keep them in milk for about 10 months out of the year with like a 2-month rest period. You can milk cows by hand or with machines depending on where you are. You clean the cow's udder, you prep her udder in different ways to let her know it's time to sort of start letting down her milk. And then we hook up the machines, which take it through a series of pipes into our sort of bulk tank room, which is when it kind of transitions over to the work of the creamery.
Once the milk gets collected from them, it goes into our bulk tank, and that's where the milk is stored up. And the yogurt is a high-yielding product, so it's really good to move the milk. After the pasteurization step, we add the culture, and then depending on the cheese or if it's just yogurt, all it requires is culture, but if it's cheese, we're adding rennet as well. And then from there, it kind of takes a life of its own, and then at a certain point, it's ready for sale, and then we get it to the consumer as well. And then the other end of that is that we have farmers markets that we go to down in the city and everything, so that's like a whole nother side of our organization, and for a lot of farmers and a lot of producers, that's like the second leg or the second step.
Our dairy herd at Hawthorne Valley is a mixed breed herd. And so by mixing in different breeds, we kind of create this like mutt type creature that's usually very hardy. So we're more interested in health, kind of sustainability in the animal than like a high production. When people come into our barn and they see all of the cows with horns, they're like, oh, are these all male animals? Are these all bulls? But that's actually not accurate. Most breeds of cattle grow horns, and by removing their horns, it feels like you're almost kind of removing like one of their sense organs or a way that they interact with their environment. Because they have horns, they might require more space around them than a dehorned cow, different kinds of facilities. The way we interact with them needs to be more respectful, or we can get injured.
Yeah, I think dairy's important because back in the day when civilization was starting, we had hunter and gatherers, but eventually people found ways to create a system of agriculture that worked for where they wanted to stay. And that's what really created, I think, civilizations and empires.
So I think it is a matter of figuring out ways to educate and inspire people enough to see buying food as an investment worth their money and supporting farms that want to farm in this more intentional way.